Well. World-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Life. Oh, Michael. Let's give it up for Insomniac. They have done it yet again. A 91 on Metacritic. That's right, folks at home. This is the first Insomniac game to break the mold. Their first game to hit above 90. Unbelievable. Let's get a round of applause to Insomniac because they have just hit that home run here with Spider-Man 2 on PS5. Incredible work from top to bottom. 91 on Metacritic. I can't imagine what the Starfield fanboys think right about now. 91 on Metacritic from Insomniac. We know you don't care, but you need to find a job because then you might start caring about the show because you won't have as much time to bitch and moan and complain. 91 on Metacritic, folks. That is the score. 91 on Metacritic. We hope you're having a fantastic day in your neck of the woods. 91 on Metacritic. Spider-Man 2 PS5. It releases later this week, and we will be playing it, of course, Spider-Man 2 PS5. Now, we have a lot to talk about here today, if you're willing to give me a few moments. But with that said, I do not agree with this score. I think this score is terrible. Quite frankly, I don't think this game brings anything new to the table, and it is just over-glorified, padded DLC. So if you want more of the same, then rush out to GameStop Thursday night at midnight to buy this slot. But with that said, it is not a revolutionary title, and in many ways, it is a downgrade. It's so sad, but you don't care. When you start caring about the games industry, let me know. Give me a call. Okay? But until then, go consume just like the consumers that you are. This releases this Friday, $70, PS5 exclusive, not on PC for the time being. PS5 exclusive, so if you don't have a PS5, you ain't playing this game. Spider-Man 2 exclusive to the PlayStation 5. We made several videos showcasing the cracks. You didn't want to listen. Not one comment was actually pertaining to the actual video. So many bullies on the internet. It's so sad. Believe me, you couldn't listen. And I respected your time. The videos are about 45 seconds long, if that. And you still couldn't get it through your thick skull. Lose some weight. And, she might start loving. But nonetheless, it is the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, we're talking a 91 on the PlayStation 5. This is the first Insomniac title to hit a 90 or above on Metacritic. So let's get a round of applause. 90 or above on Metacritic, and I predicted this was going to hit 92 on Metacritic, and at one point this was a 92 on Metacritic. So it is sitting right now as of this broadcast, 91. Could go up or down, but I think right there is where it's going to sit, at least for the time being. 91 on Metacritic, Spider-Man 2, PlayStation 5. We have a lot to discuss once a few more people tune in. Unfortunately, since the review embargo has expired, the floodgates have opened, and that's why our videos did the way that they did, because the review embargo was still in play. Now it's not, and the floodgates have opened, and everyone and their grandma has the same opinion on this game. Wonder why? Because you got a free copy from Sony. Wow. Riveting. Riveting takes. So, 91 on the PlayStation 5, Spider-Man 2. 91 on the PlayStation 5, Spider-Man 2. What are we thinking here? Do we care? I know we don't care. This community doesn't care. You all came from 4Channel or some other hole. And it's so sad. I care about games, just not in the way that you do. But nonetheless, a 91 on the PlayStation 5. Let's get some energy in this chat. Let's get a 1 in the chat. Come on. Okay, you guys cannot handle it. I mean, I could just sit out here on my phone and do nothing if you guys can't handle it. It's as simple as that. We thought you guys needed a break, so we thought, well, let's focus on these videos. And we went to a different location in every video to spice up the setting, up the production a tad bit here and there. And don't think it was appreciated, so probably won't do that again. But nonetheless, it is the way the cookie crumbles. And by the way, they are now advertising Starfield. I'm seeing the advertisements. And with that said, Pete Hines has retired at Bethesda. He was the PR shill for Bethesda. And with that said, he has called it quits. But they are marketing Starfield now. If you buy Mountain Dew, and this is not a sponsorship or anything, but if you buy Mountain Dew or you go to the store and see a package of Mountain Dew, you will see that Xbox is all over the, Mountain Dew packaging. You're talking about Redfall, you're talking about Starfield, you're talking about Forza. And not only that, but on Doritos, you're seeing the Starfield logo on the Doritos. So they are just now starting to push Starfield when the numbers have hit rock bottom. And unfortunately, it's too late. People have moved on from that game. That was supposed to be the game that we were going to be playing for the next 10 years like we did with Skyrim. Unfortunately, that just didn't turn out to be the case. But once the mod creation kit comes out, it might inject some more life into the game. But until then, it's pretty much dead.
It's over!
And we're coming through. That's what we're talking about.
M0, 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 M super chatted $5. Driven down all of I-5/99 in Cali today, just hit the valley, beautiful day, haven't played Spider-Man since GameCube, what new one would you suggest?
Well, there isn't a good Spider-Man game. I mean, well, that's not true. I mean, but this is all we have from Insomniac in terms of new Spider-Man games. Guys, there hasn't been one good game that has come out this year. That isn't changing, okay? That isn't changing. The rest of this month is pure slop. Super Mario Wonder could be good, but it probably won't be. With that said, M.O. popping the cherry. Let's get the lasers out. That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate that. M.O. coming through, stepping up to the plate in a way that makes sense. Popping the cherry, and that is the reality of the situation. Leopard coming through. That's what we're talking about. Leopard coming through in the pipeline right now. So currently, Starfield, Jesus Lord, Spider-Man 2 has a 91 on Metacritic, which is a lot higher than Starfield. Just saying. However, with that said, I do not agree with that score. I do not believe that the game brings literally anything new to the table outside of useless gimmicks that are going to ultimately get boring after about an hour or so of play. And if you go to the IGN review and watch the IGN review for Spider-Man 2, they basically say, like, hey, yeah, this is more of the same. Not necessarily mind-blowing, but, also with that said, not necessarily that terrible. So it is more of the same. It is just DLC in disguise like we thought, and that is unfortunate. And we will be showing you why this game is not a 91 on Metacritic shortly here. And look, if you're in the, shill boat and you want to shill this until the cows come home, that's fine with me. We can still be friends. And with that said, what I will tell you is that
it's over.
We hope you have your fun in the sun this Friday.
Leopard super chatted $6.99. Only world class can expose those lazy millennial devs in a way that makes sense.
Well, they didn't listen to my review. Literally, every problem that I had with the first game 5 years ago has not been rectified here in Spider-Man 2 PS5. Nothing. Nothing has been rectified. Not a single thing, from what I can tell. Nothing has been fixed. Nothing has been changed. A lot of the problems that I had, sure, they were unorthodox, but a lot of the issues that I had with Spider-Man PS4 5 years ago have not been fixed. So what do you want me to get excited for?
It's over!
Because there's nothing to get excited about.
The real Michael Myers super chatted $9.99. Was up, Mackle? I guess Ray realized Starfield was done for. Now they finally want to market after making a little money. Laurie Strode going out today. Also, did you see the new tat I sent you? Fire, fire.
Yeah, that looks fucking sick, bro. That looks fucking sick. Yeah, we'll do an unboxing once we get the Laurie Strode. We'll show you what he sends. The real Michael Myers. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. Folks at home, we are live. Spider-Man 2 PS5 91 on Metacritic. And what does this guy have to say here? Remember, for 22 months, Skate Trick, that's what we're talking about. Skate Trick coming through. Remember, for 22 months, that is what we're talking about. Well, we wanted to focus on the videos, and we wanted to focus on laying it out in a way that is clear and concise and with under a minute, pretty much. And that's what we were doing. So, and, you know, the next game we will be covering is Alan Woke 2, and I have a lot to say, much more to say. I didn't even really want to cover Spider-Man 2, but I thought, well, let's, you know, we can't not cover it. I mean, but there's just not much to say about this game. It is more of the same. However, Alan Woke 2, we have a lot to say, and that game is killing the industry. It is destroying greatness, and it's so incredibly sad how the shills are shilling Alan Woke 2, and we will be covering that. Hopefully in a way that makes sense, as the game is coming out 1 week from this Friday, I believe. So we have a lot to talk about in the coming weeks here, because October is a busy month, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a quality month. Okay, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. The industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they are afraid to take risks. They are afraid to innovate. They are afraid to push the envelope. They are afraid to push the boundaries. It's all about the marketing budget. It's all about, you know, teaming up with NVIDIA and putting a ray tracing demo out, tech demo in disguise, and calling it a day. They don't make video games anymore, folks. They make advertisements for brands. That's what it is. That's what gaming has become. Advertisements for the IP. That's all it is. That's really all it is. And it's so sad. They just fire all the programmers, and they let the AI do all the work, and then they hire a bunch of artists and a bunch of marketing gurus, and that's it. They don't make video games anymore, folks. It's dead. It really is over. You'll never see. The only game that is going to push the envelope, at least attempt to push the envelope forward, is Grand Theft Auto 6, and we don't know when that's coming out. And quite frankly, it might not be coming out anytime soon. So, you know, it's yet again, we're waiting and waiting and waiting for greatness, and we're still going to be waiting for, I mean, this time next year, GTA 6 is still not going to be out. So, I mean, it's just, you know, that is the only game that is going to potentially attempt to push this medium forward. Every other game is going to do exactly what works because it turned into Hollywood, and Hollywood has been regurgitating, just like the music business, the same old garbage over and over and over again for the last 45 years. Okay? It's so sad. All right, here's the problems with Spider-Man 2 PS5. These are just a few. Let's go ahead and hit that like button, folks. Only 72 likes. We need better energy in here. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, here are the problems with Spider-Man 2 PS5. Same combat. Okay, now again, this was a 5-year gap from the first game. And the first game had true hype behind it, organic hype. A lot of the hype surrounding this release is not, I would argue, well, it's not the same. Let's just put it that way. So we're talking the same combat. Okay, very little has changed in that regard. You just mash a few buttons, and then it's a dodge attack thing. Same crap over and over and over again. 5 years, no change. Same web swinging. The only thing that they've improved upon is the speed of the web swinging, and they added a glide suit to Spider-Man. Now he can, you know, fly around like fucking Superman. I've never seen Spider-Man in a web swinging suit before like that, okay, where the wings are attached. I've never seen that in a movie. I've never seen that in a game, and obviously it was probably in the comic. But nonetheless, I've never seen that before, and it seems like a lame cop-out excuse to not actually provide a physics-based momentum web-swinging system, and instead they just said, hey, you can fly around like fucking Superman. That's stupid, but the normies are going to love it. So you have the same combat, you have the same web-swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle. This is a thing that a lot of people complained about in the first game 5 years ago. There is no dynamic day and night cycle. In addition to that, there's no dynamic weather, and with that said, you can go to the IGN review right now. And I think they talk about this. You're talking about the bland, repetitive open world returning, nothing but busy work, nothing necessarily sticking out. It's really so sad. And then, on top of all of that, you do have downgraded graphics. And what I mean by that, okay, I don't care. You can screenshot this and put it on V right now. I really couldn't care less, okay? Look, at the end of the day, the reality of the situation continues to unfold, and it's so incredibly sad. You have downgraded graphics for Spider-Man 2 PS5. Now, we were led to believe that this was going to take full advantage of the PlayStation 5 and its capabilities. And the reason why I say that is because if you go back to the unveiled trailer for Spider-Man 2 PS5 in 2021, they show you a game that doesn't exist. Okay, they got Venom crawling out of the fucking alleyway with like PS6 graphics, and you look at the game right now and it looks like it could have fucking made its debut on the PlayStation 4 as well. So the graphics have been totally downgraded, and what I'm going to do when I get my copy of Spider-Man 2 PS5, look here, listen, what I'm going to do when I get my copy of Spider-Man 2 PS5 is I'm going to the Puddlegate area. Okay, it's the same map, New York City. So I'm going to the Puddlegate area. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be comparing the Puddlegate area in Spider-Man 2 PS5 to the original Puddle area before it was downgraded. And then Digital Foundry came out and said, no, it's actually upgraded. No, sweetheart, it's not. Get a pair of better bifocals, okay? This shit has been downgraded continuously because they have nothing to show for, and it's so incredibly sad. 5 years in the making, and what did we get? What is there new here? Very little. Okay, outside of a few new gimmicks here and there is nothing new. So why is this $70? Oh, you get the Sandman. And that's not a spoiler, by the way. That's in the fucking trailer. Okay, the Sandman is in the game. Cool. Okay, you have new bosses. You have a new story. You have 2 Spider-Mans. Great, fantastic. But with that said, what else has improved? Literally nothing. As you're getting the same combat, you're getting the same web swinging, you're getting no dynamic day and night cycle, you're getting no dynamic weather, bland repetitive open world yet again, downgraded graphics. Why am I excited about this? And more importantly, why does this have a 91 on Metacritic? Go. It's ridiculous. They had 5 years to do something with this game, 5 years to take the feedback to heart and say, well, you know what, let's improve this. Let's make it special. Instead, what they wanted to do is cater and pander to the normies.
Kevin Conroy super chatted £5.
Kevin Carter coming through.
Even though I'm dead and rotting in hell,
Who the fuck is
Spider-Man 2
this?
is better than my trash Arkham games that were never good. I deserved
geez.
cancer on November 10th, 2022.
This is the reality of the situation. Same combat, same web swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland, repetitive open world, downgraded graphics. It's so incredibly sad. You don't care, I don't care. Okay, it's a two-way street in here, folks. It's a two-way street in here. You guys got to step up to the plate. We got a special guest arriving later this week. Okay, we need some great energy in here. Okay, get it back in your skull. Energy. Buy some Mountain Dew or some shit. Jesus Christ, if you can't afford it, I'll buy you a pack. I'm done. Tired of it. So I want you to explain to me why you think that this game deserves a 91. Okay? We just went over it time and time again. You're not listening. Okay? Do I have to hire a female to present my opinion? Because it seems like I am the roadblock. Now, I shouldn't be the roadblock, but it seems like you guys cannot listen. So maybe I'm just going to hire a female so she can present what I write. Because you guys are not listening. You guys are down bad. Okay? She said no, and you couldn't handle it. Too bad. So, again, let's reiterate this, folks. We're talking the same combat, the same web swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland and repetitive open world, and downgraded graphics. Why are we excited about Spider-Man 2? Did they improve upon anything in my original review? Did Brian and Insomniac listen? No, they didn't. What do you want me to get excited about? I'm moving on to Alan Wake 2. I'm moving on to Alan Wake 2 because I see the shill fest coming for that. And guess what? That game is cancer to the industry because there are no physical copies. And physical media is literally dying right before our eyes. And these gamers don't give two shits. It's over. Well, you're just a boomer dinosaur, Michael. Get with the times. I haven't bought a physical copy of the game since the PS1 era. Cool, you do you. How am I trolling? Because you disagree, you're just going to chalk it up as trolling? That's sad. Okay, how am I wrong? You can't just say I'm trolling. How am I wrong? Okay? It has the same combat. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. Okay? Show me where the combat is drastically different. You can't, because it doesn't exist. Say web swinging. Okay? It has the same web swinging mechanics. You don't want to listen? That's fine with me. Okay? It has the same web swinging mechanics. Okay? The only thing that they've added in is a cape for fucking Spider-Man, so he wants to pretend like he's Superman and you can fly around the fucking city. Okay, but who cares? There's nothing to do in the city. That's going to get boring. There's no dynamic day and night cycle. People were bitching about this 5 years ago. Insomniac, let us change the time of day. They finally added that option in, I believe, in Spider-Man PS4 update. I don't remember. Maybe they didn't. But there was an option to at least play it at nighttime. But there's still no dynamic day and night cycle here in Spider-Man 2 PS5. This is 5 years later. There's no dynamic weather, bland and repetitive open world, and downgraded graphics. And if you don't believe me about the downgraded graphics, either go to the 2021 Unveil trailer for Spider-Man 2 PS5 where Venom comes out of the alleyway and compare the graphics to what you're seeing right now from the reviews, okay? You can't sit there and tell me that we got that game because it didn't exist. It didn't exist, and you don't care. Well, then how am I supposed to care? You don't care, I don't care. Why show up? It's as simple as that. I have spent days trying to tell you that this was going to be a total disaster, and you didn't want to listen. Well, that's not my problem, okay? Name one thing that this game does differently. It doesn't do anything differently. There's literally nothing new here. It is literally the same game with just a few new coats of paints here and there. And yet it gets a 91. Why does it get a 91 on Metacritic? Because you can play as two Spider-Mans now? Why does this have a 91 on Metacritic? The original game didn't have a 91 on Metacritic. I'm done. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This game could have been done on PS4 rather. This game could have been released on PS4. Oh, absolutely. This game could have been released on PS4, but you guys don't care.
It's over.
MO coming through. He popped the cherry earlier. M0, 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 M super chatted $5. Goth gamer girl to present the information and then people will listen. I'm semi-shocked to hear that they released the same Spider-Man game 10 times.
Well, the first game was different because it was the first Spider-Man game from Insomniac, and we wanted to see what ultimately that was going to entail because the previous game before that was The Amazing Spider-Man 2. There was like a 4-year gap, and we've been used to movie games from the Spider-Man games, you know. And, you know, Marvel's Spider-Man PS4 from Insomniac was a whole different ball game. First brand new Spider-Man game of its kind from an acclaimed developer. A lot to be excited about for that release 5 years ago. This time around, this is the third Spider-Man game that they have made, and it's all the same slop. You get different bosses, you get different storylines and twists and turns, but ultimately, there's nothing new here. And for most people, they don't want nothing new, okay? They didn't want anything new. I mean, you just look at this industry, and they don't provide anything new because, well, when they do, it doesn't sell. Okay, you look at games that came out earlier, brand new IPs, and guess what? Those games flopped. So, quite frankly, you can't blame the publisher. You have to blame the consumer because they are ultimately deciding that they don't want that fried chicken on that buffet. Okay, if they don't want the fried chicken on the buffet, the chef ain't putting it out. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Okay, you go to the grocery store, no one buys the bananas. Guess what? They're going to stop putting bananas out. It's as simple as that. So, with that said, publishers, developers are reluctant to do new experiences because they just don't know if it's going to work, okay? It's as simple as that. But you guys aren't ready for that conversation. I don't know what to tell you. So, what's going to happen here, in my opinion? There is no way, I don't care who's in Spider-Man 3. I don't care what boss, I don't care what, you know, who goes up against who. Okay? At the end of the day, what's going to have to happen for Spider-Man 3 the next 5 to 6, 7, 8 years, they're going to have to revamp this game, bro. There's no way. There's no way for Spider-Man 3. There's no way. There's no way for Spider-Man 3 that they're just going to copy and paste this yet again. There's no way. They're going to have to totally revamp the web swinging. I'm serious, Insomniac. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And I don't know what they're doing over there at the studio, but probably very little. Because they've copy and pasted assets. It's just an asset flip with new bosses, new storylines, new twists and turns. Is that really worth $70? And more importantly, if you don't have a PlayStation 5, should you rush out and go out and buy a PlayStation 5 just for this game? Well, I mean, it really depends. If you're a hardcore Spider-Man fanboy, then maybe it will float your boat. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we'll go back to it right here. Same combat, same web swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland and repetitive open world, and downgraded graphics. What is there to ultimately be excited for here? And more importantly, why does this have a 91 on Metacritic? Why don't you explain this to me in a way that makes sense? Because I don't get it. I don't get why this has a 91 on Metacritic, but you guys want to sit there and go, well, Michael, you're so damn wrong. Just shut up and eat your popcorn. Because that's what I'll have to do. It's a movie game. You can fly around like Superman in this game. That's ridiculous. You can fly around like Superman in this game. When has Spider-Man ever? I've never seen this in any of the movies, and I've seen the terrible new movies too. He's never had that suit before. The glider suit, I've never seen that in any of the movies. I've seen all of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. I've seen those movies. I haven't seen The Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2, but I've seen clips. And I watched that brand new Spider-Man movie that came out a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Whenever it came out, they had to bring back all of the Spider-Mans to get everyone in the theater, and it worked. They brought back Andrew Garfield. They brought back Tobey Maguire. I watched that one. When is Spider-Man in a glider suit in those movies? I've never seen that, bro. I've never seen that. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Maybe in the 60s he had a Spider-Man suit on, a wing glider suit on in the comments. In the comics. But with that said, I have not seen that ever. So instead of improving upon the web swinging mechanics and making it physics and momentum based like we asked for, and it could have been an optional thing. It could have been an optional thing that you toggle on in the options menu. But you guys can't handle that. And I know why they didn't do it. It's because if that were the default option, people would have put the controller down. They don't. Here's what they're looking at with the feedback when they do that massive research and they say, well, let's play test this game, blah, 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 blah. What's ultimately seemingly happening is that they don't want the player to put the controller down. That is the worst thing that could potentially happen.
Yo flippin' super chatted $5. 5 years just for a DLC. The game essentially forces you to fly instead of swing and be creative. Same exact side content in the open world for shills.
Yeah, and it's so sad. Because nothing has changed, nothing has improved. You're getting slightly better visuals, I suppose, but even that, I would argue, is not necessarily the case as it has been downgraded. And you can look up, someone's already put out a video comparing Spider-Man Remastered compared to Spider-Man 2 PS5. And quite frankly, I would argue that Spider-Man Remastered actually looks a little bit better in certain scenes. So what are we getting here? We're getting to storylines. Okay, but after you complete the main mission, okay, the main storyline rather, what are we doing in the open world? Apparently there's nothing necessarily going on there that's all that interesting outside of busy work. I'm done playing these games because they don't bring anything new to the table. Okay? We all grew up, I mean, most of you didn't actually, I'll say, let's rephrase that. Some of you guys grew up in an era where they had to innovate. Well, they didn't have to, but they wanted to innovate. That was the key goal, is that they wanted to innovate. They wanted to push the photorealistic graphics, the physics, different aspects of the medium, the interactability. We have seen it all. This industry literally has nothing left to offer. It is over. I'm not even trolling. It's all been done before, and it's been done better. If they're not willing to innovate now, they're never going to innovate. Okay, it's as simple as that. The industry is totally dead. The only game, and I've said this time and time again, I don't care. Call me a Rockstar shill. I don't care. I got problems with Red Dead Redemption 2. I got problems with the modern GTA titles. But with that said, I do believe in a lot of aspects, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I do believe in a lot of aspects that GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6, is going to push the medium forward, or at least attempt to.
It's over!
But when that is coming, we don't know.
Leopard super chatted 6 Canadian dollars and
Let's get it.
99 cents. Mackle the Glider was in Spider-Man, Homecoming, the first Slop Holland movie, Spider, Wastebasket.
Well, I didn't notice. It was all blurry CGI. It moves so quick, I didn't even notice. Actually, I didn't watch that. I mean, I watched it, but I didn't finish it because it was so trash. Spider-Man Homecoming is terrible. That movie is total garbage. And the CGI in those movies looks terrible. The CGI in these brand new movies looks so terrible. Yep, you're getting repetitive, boring side quests. Open world is the same. I don't understand what we're excited for here. I mean, if you want more of the same, don't get me wrong. You know, have your fun in the sun this Friday. But if you're expecting a true sequel to the first game 5 years removed and it taking full advantage of the PS5 outside of loading, I don't think you're getting that. I really don't think this is pushing the PS5 to the limit. If it is, then there was no reason to buy a PS5. Hell, Next Gen General has been total trash. Name one next generation game. It's been out. These consoles have been out for nearly 3 years, and I have yet to play one next generation game. Okay, we now have better lighting. We have better shaders. We have better this. We have better that. That's not great game design. That's one puzzle piece to the entire puzzle. That's not game design. Okay, I don't know where that became a thing, but it is now seemingly just about real-time reflection. That's all people need these days, real-time reflection. Who cares about if the puddle real-time reflects the lighting in the scene? It literally does not matter. All of that is bullshit, and it's dragging the industry down because video games basically don't exist anymore. They don't know how to program anymore. The budget isn't...
It's over!
That certainly is over, I'll tell you.
Bald Lesbian super chatted $4.99. Web wings were literally in Spider-Man's first design by Steve Ditko in 1962.
I don't care about Stan Lee,
Baby,
okay?
Bear,
I don't
wolf,
care.
Lightning showers.
I don't care. I'm older than you, so don't sit there and pretend like you're a fucking boomer and you were there, in the 60s reading those damn comics. Get your ass out of your fucking head. That's bullshit. I don't care. When you web swinging, shut up. The game's trash. Admit it. All of them were paid by Snoy. Okay? I'm done. If they're going to shill it on V, I'm not going back over there because I'm tired of hearing it. Okay? Same combat. Same web swinging. No dynamic day and night cycle. No dynamic weather. Bland and repetitive open world. Downgraded graphics. Why should I care about this game? I've already played this game. Oh, let's see what happens to Peter Parker. Nothing's going to happen to Peter Parker. Guess what? Guess what happens to Peter Parker? This is not a spoiler. They changed his face again. They love changing faces in these games. Why? They literally changed it again. This is the third Peter Parker. This is the third Peter Parker, bro. Because even in Miles Morales, Peter Parker looks different than he does here in Spider-Man 2 PS5. The third Peter Parker. Why are we... A new Mary Jane. Why are we changing faces? Why are we changing faces? I don't understand. This is the third Peter Parker. The third Peter Parker. He looks even different in this version. Look. Spider-Man Morale. Type in Peter Parker Spider-Man Morale PS5. And then type in Spider-Man 2 PS5 Peter Parker. Totally different face model again. Why are we changing faces? Why is Mary Jane ugly now? Fucking trash-ass game, bro. Why? Why do we constantly change the face models in these games? It's not even consistent. They're not even trying to be consistent. Like, just throw this together because we can't, the other guy that, wants his royalties is demanding higher. Who fucking knows? Or they want to try and emulate Tom Holland. I heard Tom Holland is done with Spider-Man. Guys, he's becoming a boomer. Tom Holland is eventually going to become a boomer. They're going to look for a new Spider-Man. Once he hits 28 or 30, he's done. They're not going to have him come back as Spider-Man. He's a boomer. No one wants to see a boomer on the screen as Spider-Man. Not anymore. So they're going to look for a new Spider-Man, and Tom Holland is going to be done. I'm sure there's probably a couple of more movies left, but with that said, Tom Holland is moving on. He doesn't need Spider-Man anymore. And they're going to look for someone else new anyway. That's what they've done in the past. You know, they didn't, you know, they're just going to reboot it again and say, well, this is the new telling of Spider-Man. You know, what's the storyline in Spider-Man? Well, the only Spider-Man story I know is the one I watched the Sam Raimi movie. Okay, Spider-Man's on. You know, Peter Parker's at the museum. I forgot why. It's like a school field trip or some shit. I don't fucking remember. And then he's taking a picture of the spider and he gets bit. Or some shit like that. He's taking a picture of a snake or something like that. He gets bit. And then it shows the progression of him becoming and turning into a Spider-Man. And there's, you know, it's great. It's well directed. It's great comedy. But with that said, you know, the turning point in the movie is that, you know, why he has to put the suit on essentially is that because Uncle Ben comes to his demise. And then he goes after the guy that did Uncle Ben, and then he really discovers himself as Spider-Man. So it's a great tale. But you guys like that normie shit where, you know, Spider-Man's now on his cell phone all the time and like, look at me, I'm Tom Holland. It's like, shut up. No one's watching this trash. So here it is right here. Same combat, same web swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, a bland, repetitive open world, and downgraded graphics. You can disagree. I don't care. You will. But at the end of the day, when you're bored of this game in a week, and you move on to Alan Woke 2, well, hopefully you enjoy the flavor of the week. But for a sequel that was 5 years in the making, quite frankly, this is a total disaster. This shouldn't even have a 90 on Metacritic, quite frankly. This shouldn't have a 90 on Metacritic. It doesn't bring anything new to the table. They didn't even try and innovate. The graphics are actually worse than the previous remastered. I mean, they made so many of these Spider-Man games. How many Spider-Man games? This is the third Spider-Man game. This is not Spider-Man 2. This is the fucking fourth Spider-Man game, actually. I disagree. This is the fourth Spider-Man game from Insomniac, bro. And you wonder why there's no hype this time around. There's no hype this time around. None of it's organic. There's no hype this time around. This is literally the fourth Spider-Man game that they've made, and I'm not even trolling on that. This is Spider-Man 4 from Insomniac. They made 4 of these. So they didn't really have 5 years to work on this. They really didn't because they were too busy pumping out Spider-Man Remastered. They were too busy pumping out Spider-Man Miles Morales. So you have Spider-Man 2018. You have Spider-Man Remastered. You have Spider-Man Morales. And then you have Spider-Man 2 PS5. So this is the 4th release from Insomniac. Yeah, they didn't have time. They didn't have time to do anything here because they're too busy pumping out these Spider-Man games that literally bring nothing new to the table. Now, had they actually said, we're not going to, had it just been as simple as this, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man PS4 2018, and then they go silent for 5 years, and then they release this, boom, would have been a lot better. Would have been a lot better. But they had to just go and pump out the same old game over and over and over again with a new storyline. Cool, that's DLC. Same city. Oh, now we have the Bronx. Now we have this. Now we have that. Okay. Look, if I go to Coney Island in this game and you can't ride the rides, 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. If you can't do anything on Coney Island in this is a Spider-Man game, bro. You need activities on the ground. I've told Insomniac this. They do not listen.
It's over.
We're just going to have to make our own Spider-Man game. I'm done.
Bald Lesbian super chatted $4.99. Spider-Man's first appearance with web wings was in Amazing Fantasy 15 in 1962. I'm a comic
I don't
fan,
care. You're not a boomer. Shut up.
Seethe and Cope, baby.
You
Bear,
Seethe and Cope, you
wolf,
loser.
Lightning showers.
I'm literally older than you, and you want to play boomer in here. Oh, Michael, I've been with Spider-Man since 1978. Yeah, okay, buddy. And let me ask you this: since you're an expert on Spider-Man, why does Stan Lee take all the credit? I mean, maybe he doesn't, and he's passed away, sure. But with that said, what I'm saying is that why does everyone look at Stan Lee when there was another guy that helped create Spider-Man, but that guy doesn't get the credit? It's just Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. But there was someone else that helped create Spider-Man back in the day. I don't even know who it is. I mean, I didn't know who Stan Lee was until about 5 or 6, 7 years ago. I watched the Spider-Man movie and I thought, well, those are the guys who made Spider-Man. I don't know who Stan Lee is. I don't read comics. I'm not a nerd. He only drew him. Okay, so what did the other guy do? What did the other guy do? What did the other guy do? Well, I'm just going to have to Google it because you guys, you want to play expert, and then the moment I ask you one question about something you don't understand. Let me just say this. Who created Spider-Man? Steve Ditko. Is he still alive? No, he passed away too. Okay, so what did Steve Ditko do? Oh, he died in 2018. When did Stan Lee pass? Right around there too. Co-creator for Spider-Man. Okay, so why didn't Steve Ditko get any fucking credit? What did he do? Why were they obsessed over Stan Lee? Stan Lee, Stan Lee. Where's the credit for Steve Ditko? I'm not reading all that. Creation of Spider-Man. After Marvel Comics editor-in-chief Stan Lee obtained permission from publisher Matt Goodman to create new ordinary teen superhero named Spider-Man, Lee originally approached his leading artist Jack Kirby. Kirby told, oh my God, it's a novel. Get to the point. Okay, who the hell's this Jack Kirby guy? Leo turned to Ditko, who developed a visual motif Lee found satisfactory. Wait, hold on. So Stan Lee didn't do anything? It sounds like there was beef there. I don't know. But he didn't get credit. I don't know what he did. That's a lot of reading. That'd take the whole day for me to figure out. They should just make a movie off that. Why haven't they made the Stan Lee story or some shit like that? I mean, that would make millions. It doesn't matter. I've never heard of Steve Ditko before. Literally. I've heard of Stan Lee, and he's the godfather of Spider-Man, right? Okay. It's like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. No one really talks about Steve Wozniak compared to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs gets all the credit. Steve Wozniak was the brains and he put the shit together. But Steve Jobs was the mouthpiece, essentially. He knew how to sell it. But I don't know if he knew how to code. I really doubt that. I mean, maybe to a certain extent, but still, with that said, it's pretty much the same thing. Alrighty, folks, let's go. I don't care. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, you're wrong. I don't care. You're wrong. It's as simple as that. You're wrong. Because I could go out and ask anyone right now on the street, who the hell is Steve Ditko? No one's going to know. If I say Stan Lee, they're going to know who that is, for the most part. Okay, so you're wrong. I don't care. I don't care. No one knows who Steve Ditko is. You're wrong. You're wrong. Just admit it. You're wrong. No one knows who Steve Ditko is. That's the point I'm trying to make. Now, that doesn't discredit him. I'm just saying the normies don't know who the fuck that is. The normies do not know who Steve Ditko is. The people that are buying this game do not know about Steve Ditko. They know Stan Lee, okay? Because Stan Lee put himself in all of the movies. It sounds like there's a movie to be told there. It's like the social network. You know what I mean? Mark Zuckerberg said, fuck you, and he, you know, it's the same story every time. So, all right, let's go ahead and open up the lines, folks. If you want to call in and explain to me your Spider-Man knowledge, that would be fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to be opening up the lines if this does work. So now is your opportunity to call into the show, and we're going to have to fix the audio here. We're going to have some problems with the audio. All right, the number to call in is 818-850-5355, 818-850-5355. That is the number to call in, folks, and the lines are now open. So, again, if you want to call in and explain to me how wrong I am, feel free to do so at 818-850-5355. In fact, I might dial that right now to test it out because I don't think it's working, but nonetheless, we'll go ahead and see if it works here. I didn't claim to be a real Spider-Man fan. Yes, I am a casual Spider-Man fan. I've seen the movies, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. And I played the games. Let's not pretend like we're... No. Let's get that down. We're not answering that. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air. All righty, we're going to block and ban. First one to block and ban. Boom. Keep it on track, and we're done. Hello, you're on the air. We'll move on to the next caller. Hello, you're on the air. Spider-Man 2, yes or no? Spider-Man 2, yes or no? She certainly doesn't love. That I know, that I can tell you. And my audio goes down. It's like someone's turning it down. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
Michael, you're high off your ass.
Okay, you're a loser. I'm not gonna. Don't call into my show. You have nothing better to do on a Monday afternoon. You're a loser, okay? Don't call me a loser when you're doing the same thing. You're doing nothing, okay? So it's Loserville in here. Hello, you're on the air. Let's go. Hello, you're on the air. Next caller. All right. Well, we're done with that. Last caller. Hello, you're on the air. Let's go. Shut up. Hello, you're on the air. 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 Alrighty. Shut up. No one cares. We got losers calling in, so we're not doing that segment because I'm tired of hearing it. Not a fucking nonsense call. I'm going to screen calls.
M0, M0 super chatted $5. Real question, if I played Spider-Man 1 plus 2 by Treyarch, is there any actual reason to play any of the 20 plus Spider-Man games made?
No.
Including Insomniac ones?
Nope. No, because in I have Spider-Man 1 and 2 on GameCube, but I know in one of those games you can unlock the Green Goblin, and that shit's fucking crazy, bro. You can fly around in that glider, and it's like, this is badass. Now I think it is a cheat code or some shit like that, but you know, those are movie tie-in games, and they're still better than what they accomplished here. So it's so sad, so sad. So you have the same combat, you have the same web swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland and repetitive open world, downgraded graphics. We were hoping to have someone on the line that would explain it to us in a way that makes sense, but that's seemingly impossible. So with that said, I guess we're just going to have to, well, there's my stand, there's my viewpoint on it, and that's just how it's going to have to be. So I don't know what to tell you. We're still going to check this out this Friday, but, you know, I'm not jumping up and down. Not jumping up and down. And quite frankly, have we seen the transition gameplay for when you switch to Peter Parker to Miles? That does not look intuitive at all. Okay, I mean, it looks terrible. Okay, when you switch to the second Spider-Man, it is not seamless. Like, you know, like you think of GTA 5 where it, like, you know, zooms out of the map and goes to. They didn't even, like, this is a bad game. Okay, this is a terrible game. I mean, it's ridiculous. They had 5 years. They have. I'm done. I mean, you know, as a DLC expansion, sure. As a DLC expansion, sure. But anything outside of that, I mean, it's a one and done. You play it for about a week and then you move on. I mean, you're going to have to move on because Alan Wake 2 comes out and all the consumers are going to rush out and buy that slot. It's the first, well, not first, but it's the It's one of the big games that is coming out this year that is not getting a physical copy. So it is the death of the medium. It is over. It happened a lot quicker than I thought too. And with the new PS5 coming out, you get the optional disk drive, and man, it is over. It really is over. Physical media is done. But no one cares. So no one cares. They obviously have the analytics. They obviously have the data, and they obviously see that most people are buying digital. Okay, well then let's stop producing discs. I mean, it's not. It's the consumer habits. Like I said, if no one goes to the restaurant to order food, well, eventually they're going to have to close. So, the gamers have spoken. They have said, we want the convenience of digital. We don't care about owning anything. Get good, boomer. And that's the future of the industry. So, it's over. And Alan Wake 2 will sell like hotcakes. Alan Wake 2 will sell like hotcakes. And modern-day Remedy is total trash. Quite frankly, I care more about Alan Wake 2 than this, because this is just more of the same. Alan Wake 2, I got a bone to pick with that game, okay? Looks like absolute garbage.
It's over!
It's one of those Satan-worshipping games.
Snurf super chatted $10. You're wrong. Spider-Man isn't just bad, it's the worst. You think Re4R and Coke Smoker Pro were bad.
Name one good game that came out this year.
Kid game Spider-Gate 2.
Name one good
Truly
game that came out
Sony.
this year. Doesn't exist. Yeah, fuck me for having standards. Name one good game that came out this year. It doesn't exist. Literally. I played them all. I played all of the releases from what I can remember. And I can't remember half the games I played because they're so they're so forgettable. They're not unforgettable. They're so forgettable. Man, it's so sad. This month is apparently the biggest month in a long time. The new generation will tell you that gaming is the best it's ever been. How could that be? There's nothing to play that's actually exciting for the jaded boomer. Okay? If you are a jaded boomer, and there's not many of them out there apparently, especially within this little bubble. But with that said, if you are a jaded boomer, and you will get there eventually, believe me, you will. When you are a jaded boomer, you will realize that you don't care anymore, okay? Now, a lot of people in here are still in their 20s. I'm not in my 20s, okay? So with that said, the mindset changes, okay? And when you eventually get into the boomer era, a lot of things start happening, okay? The body weakens, you get fat, you don't have any friends. Now, I'm not saying this is for everyone, okay? There could be exceptions. If you're a successful person, you're probably not here. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's just like, successful people aren't sitting on the internet all day. But with that said, when you get into the boomer era, and especially in the world of video games, you just want something that's going to be worth your time. And unfortunately, a lot of the software that comes out today, they're not video games, okay? They're, like I said before, they're basically advertisements for the IP. They're selling you the brand. They're not selling you a video game anymore. You're not getting a video game anymore. Programming is put on the back burner. AI, and I'm not talking about the AI that we know today. I'm talking about the old AI, the old artificial CPU versus CPU, things like that. None of that has been. It's over. It really is over. I don't know how else to explain this. It's over. There is no programming anymore. It's all about hiring artists. It's all about hiring marketing people and just, pushing out regurgitated movie games over and over and over again, and everyone's lining up to the buffet to consume. I'm done. I don't want the fried chicken that's been out for 2 weeks and put, back on reheat. That's ridiculous. Nobody wants that, okay? Unless you're a blind consumer. You see the sign out front at the buffet and you're lining up to consume. You don't care about the quality of the food. You don't care if the food has been out for a few days. You don't care. You put it on your plate. It's warm. It's hot. It looks delicious. You are ready to consume, and that's all that matters. Well, when I go to the buffet, we're a little bit more picky. If the chicken don't look too good, we're passing on the chicken. We're going to go to the ham. It's as simple as that. So with that said, that is where we do not see eye to eye. So, when you become a jaded boomer, come back to the show and you might start resonating. It isn't Doomerville. It's just the reality of the situation. So I can't explain something to you because, you are still in your 20s and, it hasn't hit you yet. And maybe it won't. Maybe you'll be lucky. Maybe you won't hit the jaded boomer era. Nonetheless, David coming through. That's what we're talking about. Best Buy will stop selling all physical media in 2024. It is officially over. Yep, it's officially
It's over.
It really is officially over. By the end of 2024, oh man, I can't imagine. It's over.
$10.
It is literally over.
Best Buy will stop selling all physical media in 2024, folks. It's over.
I mean, it really is over. We thought vinyl was having a comeback, but now they're just saying, hey, we're done with physical media, period, end of story. Buy it digitally. You don't really own it. You're done. Oh, but, you will have these fake gamers actually argue that physical media is bad for the environment and that physical media takes up space. It's inconvenient. We don't care. I mean, it's just, that is the new generation. They don't give two shits. They just don't give two shits. Oh, I love the convenience of digital, Michael. I already got Spider-Man 2 downloaded on my PS5. Okay, but it's the same price to go out and actually own the game. The disc isn't going to magically rot. Okay, it would take 50 years for the disc to rot. I'm done with that narrative. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's from a bunch of losers that don't know what they're talking about. Disc rot, by the way. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Have my PS1 games disc rotted? No. It doesn't exist. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but come on. They're acting like, oh, every 5 years your discs are going to rot. Digital for the win. Well, you've been brainwashed by the Steam guy, Gabe Newell. You've been so conditioned by the Steam monopoly that you just don't care anymore. You guys have been buying games on Steam since it happened with PC 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Back in the day, PC gaming was available at the store. You go out and buy the game. I bought Roller Coaster Tycoon. Guess what happened? You put the disc in, you play. That's it. It happened with PC gaming. It just happened a long, long time ago with PC gaming. PC gaming used to be you could go out and buy physical copies of PC games and play them right off the disc. There was no bullshit required. And now that doesn't even exist. So you guys have sat down and said, we love it. We love consuming. Shut up and take my money, Gabe. It is fantastic. Well, guess what? Steam is eventually not going to be around. I mean, that's just how the world works. It might take 150 years, 200 years. I mean, civilization, we don't even know. I mean, there could be a big fucking asteroid coming. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So you don't care, that's fine. But, if there is an option to physically own something, I would prefer that because you're getting more. I mean, not these days, but, a few years ago, I bought Cyberpunk on disc, and you still get the digital PS5 upgrade for free. But with that said, it came with a bunch of shit. Came with a fucking poster, came with some fucking stickers, came with some fucking postcards, shit like that. Okay, well, you're paying the same price, you're getting more. Why would I buy digital? Because you don't want to get outside of the house? I'm outside right now. I don't know what to tell you. I would prefer a physical copy of Spider-Man PS5. However, to play it as early as possible, yes, digital is the way to go. But eventually there is not going to be an option for physical media, and no one cares in here. Well, that's why this industry is in the shape that it's in. It is officially over, and Alan Woke 2 is ushering that in as well. So if you support Alan Woke 2, it's anti-consumer. Okay, there are no physical copies of Alan Woke 2. It is anti-consumer. Well, Michael, physical. There are plenty of games that don't have physical. Why are you picking on Alan Woke 2? Because it's the first actual game that people kind of care about. I don't care about some dumb indie game that 5 people played that doesn't have a physical release. No shit, that's not going to have a physical release because no one would buy it. It's just a total waste. But Alan Woke 2 is from Remedy. It's a major. Well, you would think it's a major title, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's AA instead of AAA. I don't know. The game looks like total shit, though. Hate that game. Absolute modern day Remedy is the absolute worst. Pretentious trash. That's what it is. Pretentious trash. I played Control, and the whole industry shielded Control. One of the worst games I've ever played. You sit around, and there's big fucking text on your screen saying some dumb bullshit, and you got some mind control garbage. The whole game is trash. Throw it in the fucking dumpster. Modern day Remedy, it's absolute shit. They haven't made any game that was actually worth a damn since fucking Max Payne 1. Modern day remedy blows cock. Fuck modern day remedy. Fuck them. They suck. And you guys want to play consumer because Shill Up told you it was good. Shill Up is a slave. He's a slave to this fucking industry. You respect that clown? Fuck me. These are QVC people. It's no different than fucking Billy Mays. The difference is that Billy fucking Mays was entertaining. Shill Up isn't. He's a loser.
M0, M0,
I'm done with these people.
M0, M0,
Fucking boring.
Super chatted $5.
Shills.
Z will own nothing and Z will be happy.
Oh my
promise.
God.
The ultimate consummate S title that pay for slop that doesn't
Consume,
even physically
consume,
exist.
consume. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Guess what? Your mother cooks you some dinner tonight. Are you going to tell her it's trash? No, you're not. Because that bites the hands that feed you. So guess what? That's how it works in the games industry, okay? It's as simple as that. If you have a girlfriend or a wife or what have you and she cooks you dinner and deep down you don't think it tastes good, you're not going to tell her that. You'd be an idiot too. Because guess what? It's gonna burn the bridge, and you can't have that. So that's what's happening in the review culture scene here on YouTube. You know, all of these normies follow these super popular, super fucking verified reviewers, and they're all in bed with the publishers. They're all in bed with these third-party PR firms. You can't trust them. Nope. They all have the same opinion. They all have the same. Oh, we can't. Oh, we won't review Hogwarts Legacy because that's way too controversial. We don't want to lose any subs. We don't want to lose any subscribers. We can't talk about controversial games like Hogwarts Legacy. Oh well, then you're not a credible reviewer. You don't have the balls to talk about Hogwarts Legacy because it's a little too controversial. You're a loser. You're a snowflake. I'm done. I'm done. I cannot believe millions of normies subscribe and entertain any of that bullshit. It's garbage. It's garbage. So, you know, the next shilling, the next round of shilling is for Alan Woke 2 in less than a week. Oh, I've seen the gameplay. It's a walking fucking sim. It's a fucking tech demo for NVIDIA, and the NPCs literally just stand around. It's the worst thing I've seen. Literally the worst game I've seen this year. And I've seen some terrible games, okay? I've seen some terrible games. I'm done. I want the jaded boomers over here. If you are a jaded boomer, please subscribe to the channel right now. Please subscribe to the channel right now. If you have similar feelings. Many of you don't, but if you do, please. Please bear with me. Eventually there will be a good game, but it is going to take a long, long time. And at that point, it's just a matter of, well, do I even care anymore? You know, you have to wait 10 years for one good game to come out. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I got better things to do. I can make my own game in 10 years. That's better than half of the shit that releases. I mean, with no experience. I mean, you don't have to have experience these days. You can download asset packs and I mean, you know, it's just like the modern devs today. They don't have experience. Clearly, they put out these games. They're not. No one knows how to engineer and program anymore. It's as simple as that. No one knows how to do any of that stuff anymore. And if they do, they don't want to. They don't want to put in the work because why would they? They probably don't get paid all that well. I don't know. You know, it's like the modern day mechanic. I mean, working on old cars is different than working on new cars. And I'm not a mechanic. I'm not pretending to be one. But, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, an older car is different than a newer car. A 2024 car is very different than a car that came out in 2014 or 2004, rather. 2004 to 2024, yeah, I mean, and the old mechanics might not know how to necessarily work with the newer cars because of all of the computers and the technology that's basically gotten in the way. But it might be, I'm assuming, a little bit easier to diagnose what's going on with the car, thanks to the modern technology. So there are some positives and there are some negatives. And I don't know. I haven't played Car Simulator. I don't know much about cars, but I can tell you that, you know, that's kind of how it is with everything. So, but you know, the industry has been turned into total slop. There's no good games that release anymore. I don't care if you disagree. I don't know why people come in here and disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. Because I see it all the time on the internet. You know, gaming doesn't hit the same. They have all these nostalgia videos with the fucking sad music in the background like, oh, you remember the glory days of the Xbox 360? You remember the glory days of the PlayStation 2? Okay, so where's that same energy in here? Why are we fighting against that? Join up and fucking say, yes, modern gaming is not great. Not coming from a place of hate, but coming from a place of concern. Yeah, and the shills will just say, well, you're concerned trolling. You're just looking for attention and views. No, I'm not. Just because I have a different opinion and you can't handle that, you throw your security blanket up and say, well, I'm just a troll. I'm just this. I'm just that. Yeah, you want me to be what you want me to be. Well, you know, at the end of the day, if that helps you sleep better at night, so be it. But with that said, I care about this industry, and I do care about a lost medium, a medium that has gone the way of the dinosaur. Because, again, what these games essentially are just advertisements. That's all it is anymore. That's really what it boils down to. There's zero functionality with these games. They hold your hand all the time. It's cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. You don't do anything in these games anymore, and even when you do, it's the same old crap that we've already played for the last 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, it is ridiculous. And people are rushing out. They're jumping up and down to go out and consume. Why? Why is Spider-Man 2 a 91? There's no reason for it to be that high. The real review score should have been probably maybe an 80. I think that would have been fair. But a 91, that's bonus points because it's only on PlayStation. If this were a multi-platform game, that score would have been a lot lower, and you damn well know it. If this would have been a multi-platform game, had it released on Xbox and PC at the same time, it wouldn't be getting no 91, and you damn well know it. Guys, you have to understand, Sony gave out review codes to people that they trust, and those people aren't going to say any negative things about the game. Well, I mean, why would you? If you're getting a big Sony release early, that is a big opportunity. So why would you fuck that up? Now, I'm not saying all of the reviews are disingenuous, but you do have to understand that they have to toe the line. I mean, they could put out a review that says the game's trash. But if they do that, they're not getting any more review codes. So, you know, they have to ask themselves, okay, well, do we want to continue covering Sony games? Or do we want to, hold our integrity close to our heart and say, hey, look, this is our real review of this game? I mean, that's really what it boils down to. That's really what it boils down to. But no one's ready to have that conversation yet. Why? Yeah, the bias Snowy Games Media is real. However, they did do a swerve, and they were there for Starfield. The bias Snowy Games Media had nothing else to talk about, so they decided to shill Starfield for some reason. I have no idea why that went that way. We didn't think that was going to happen. We thought, okay, well, the bias Snowy Games Media is not going to shill Starfield. They shilled Starfield, critical darling, internet darling game, and very surprising. But this isn't surprising. I predicted a 92 on Metacritic. I mean, it was just, it's got flashy graphics, new characters, new storylines, new this, new that. But in terms of gameplay, we're not seeing anything new. They literally took the foundation and said, what can we add in terms of gimmicks? Now you got a wingsuit and fly around like fucking Harry Houdini. Cool. Not really. What's next in Spider-Man 3? A fucking grapple hook? Okay, now it's Just Cause. You've literally turned it into Just Cause 4. Just Cause 4 has the same exact mechanics. I mean, you basically do have you basically do have a grapple hook in here. I mean, I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming. I mean, if you could just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's over.
Let's go, Fable coming through.
Fable La Punisher super chatted $4.99. GTA 6 will bring a new standard in gaming, ultimately being the peak of what the industry is. It will revolutionize the gaming platform we know of. Star.
I mean, it kind of has to. It kind of has to. And, you know, the hypocritical people in here will say, oh, that shit
It's
doesn't
over.
matter. You know, but then they'll go out and watch these videos that showcase the exact same things in a positive way.
Frog
Like,
Goblin super
oh,
chatted
yeah.
$5. Sorry for the off-topic question, Michael.
We don't do
What
off-topic in
headset
here.
are you using? The sound quality has always been impressive.
I don't see that. Oh, there it is, the Throb Goblin. What headset are you using? Sennheiser. Sennheiser. Okay, I don't know if this is a meme, but I'm seeing this a lot in my shit. People are capitalizing the technology. I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay. I don't know what that means. Okay, but guess what? In my version of Spider-Man, the web came out of his fucking suit. He didn't have a device. He's not Batman. I don't care what Stan Lee wrote in the 70s, okay? That's not my Spider-Man. Batman was the one with Batman is not a superhero. He's a loser, okay? Batman is a loser. He's a billionaire and he goes into the telephone booth and then changes, or goes into the cave rather. That's not. He goes into the cave and then turns into this fucking loser with a bunch of fucking toys. Who cares? He's got no abilities. He's dumb. Okay? And now they've turned Spider-Man into that. Oh, it's stupid that the webs come. That's what they're going to argue in here. It's stupid that the webs don't come out of his suit. No. In my opinion, it's stupid that there's why is he wearing a device? He's turning into Batman. That's not my Spider-Man. I'm sorry. I've never liked that. And they do that shit in the new movies too. That's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man got bit by the spider. He turns into the fucking superhero. Okay? How hard is it to understand? I don't care what Stan Lee wrote. Let's not imitate Stan Lee. Leave the Stan Lee comics to where they were. Okay? Do your own thing with Spider-Man. That's what Sam Raimi did. You can't appreciate that in here because you guys are Zoomers. You guys didn't even see those movies. Oh, Tom Holland this, Tom Holland that. No one cares. Tom Holland's out. He's getting too old. Spider-Man should not have gadgets, okay? He's not Batman, okay? Now you're just basically turning him into Batman. Spider-Man has he's got spidey sense. He's got, intuition. He's got, supreme awareness. The webs come out of his suit, out of his skin, okay? It's not hard. It's not hard to do it right. And let's go back to the source material and make it authentic. Oh, he's got a toy web blaster. That's so dumb. I'm sorry, that's trash. Doesn't even make sense. Where did he get it? At the fucking store? Or did he make it? Did he go to fucking Harry Osborn? Oh, Peter! Shut up! Shit don't even make a bit of sense. Just watch the first Spider-Man movie from 2002 or whenever it came out, 2000 and whenever. That's the only good Spider-Man story. All the rest are trash. I mean, they really aren't great. I don't care about the old show, okay? I don't care if he had gadgets in the old show. It's time to reinvent Spider-Man. That's what they did. You can't handle it? I don't care. Oh, you want him to be like Batman 2.0. That's cool. Batman is not a superhero. He has no ability. Literally, Batman has no ability. He's got gadgets. And I guess he's strong. He doesn't have superhuman strength. He can fly around in the cape. Okay, well, without all of those things, what can Batman do? Nothing. He's a loser. He's homeless on the fucking streets of Gotham. Okay? Literally, Batman has no superhero abilities. No superhuman powers, nothing. That's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man can walk up fucking walls, climb shit. He's a spider, okay? How hard is it to understand? How hard is it to understand? You guys weren't even around for the old show. Let's not pretend to be experts in here. I'm older than most people watching. Okay. Okay, but no, you're wrong. Name one ability that Batman can do in The Dark Knight. Nothing. He's not even... I'm done. He's literally not a superhero. He has no abilities. Name one ability. Name one ability. Without the gadgets. Name one ability without all of his stupid toys. Name one ability that Batman has. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any. He relies on gadgets and toys to be the superhero. That's stupid. Superman is a superhero. He has laser eyes. He can fly at the speed of fucking sound. That's superhero. Batman is not a superhero. He plays superhero. He cosplays. He's a billionaire. It's a stupid story. He can fly. No, he cannot. He can fly, yes, with the cape. He cannot inherently fly. You're wrong. He has no superhero ability. He can fly. Yeah, with the cape. He can't fly. No, he can't even... You're wrong. He cannot even fly. Name one... No. Do you see Batman flying in The Dark Knight? Name one scene. No. He can launch. He can glide. He cannot fly like Superman. Stop the discussion now, because you don't know what you're talking about. He can glide. He cannot fly. Okay? There's a difference. In the Arkham games, you cannot fly. You literally cannot fly. You can glide, but you continually descend. Okay? I'm done with these fakes. I don't even know half of this shit, and I know more about this shit than you guys do. Name one scene of The Dark Knight in The Dark Knight Rises where Batman's flying around with a cape. You don't see that because that's cheese. It doesn't matter. You're not understanding the point. I'm done talking about Batman. Okay, I'm done talking about Batman. If you think Batman's cool, that's fine. I mean, he's cool, but not really. The Joker's better. But they've oversaturated that Batman slop to a point where it's like, who cares? Who cares about this emo Batman now? They're playing Nirvana in the background. I mean, all of that is junk. I didn't even watch that. It's 3 hours of slop. It's woke. It's oh, Lord. I ain't watching that crap. Sorry. And plus, it's a COVID movie. They shot it in front of a fucking projector. It's all fake. I guess that's better than green screen, but... Arthur Morgan coming through again. That's what we're talking about. Now they made Spider-Man glide like Batman. That's what I'm saying. Okay, if you're going to disagree, I don't care. You didn't see the new I didn't even see the new Batman, but I know it's woke. Okay. And it's 4 hours long, 3 hours long, way too long. I mean, these movies are just, you sit in the theater for about 5 hours and you're supposed to be like enthralled by it. And it's like, well, that quality over length, bro. I am not big on long form content in any medium. It just isn't my thing. Well, I mean, gaming is a little different, but for movies, I don't want 3 hour movies. I don't care what it is. Unless it's really fucking good. And I mean really good. And there are very few movies that are worth 3 hours sitting, at the theater. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you can't tell the story in 1 hour and 35 minutes like a traditional movie, then I don't know what to tell you. Your movie's trash. Just release the extended cut on Blu-ray or something. Oh, wait, they're not selling physical media anymore, so that's fucking dead. Just buy it on iTunes, I guess. I don't even know if that's a fucking thing. Oh, man. Okay, but let's not argue about woke, okay? I'm done. If you don't think it's woke, that's fine. Maybe it's not. I don't know. That's the least of its problems. The movie's just trash. Poorly lit. It's got stupid Nirvana in the background. Like, it's like, no, Kurt Cobain wouldn't have been happy. And then you got a bunch of fake Nirvana fans because of the movie like, oh, I love Nirvana. I'm going to wear the shirt, but I can't name 5 songs. Okay, dude. Name one song outside of, that's on Bleach or Incesticide or fucking In Utero. You can't. Fake fans. They just heard Smells Like Teen Spirit and Something in the Way and Come As You Are in Bloom. It's just like, yeah, I'm not doing it. Fake fans. Kurt Cobain hated that album. That's why they made In Utero, which was way less popular. Way less popular. Duh. Figured the story out. I don't know what to tell you.
It's over.
Bald lesbian coming through.
Bald lesbian super chatted
Here we go.
$4.99. Just because you're older doesn't mean you know what you're talking about.
Well, the same goes for just because you're younger doesn't mean you're more fucking with it.
Lightning
the fuck out of here. I'm done with these
pretending
losers.
to know superhero lore.
You don't know what you're talking about, buddy. You don't know what you're talking about. No, the normies don't know Pauly. That's. I'm not even going to bring that up. I'm done. We're not talking about Nirvana in here. I already made a video on the whole Kurt Cobain thing. All the normies think Kurt Cobain didn't do it. Guess what? He did it. Okay, I'm sorry to say. Oh, Courtney Love, this, that, and the third. She hired a hitman. And it's like, you guys are dumb. You guys are so stupid. Like, you just can't believe that he did it. He did it. Okay? The guy was a fucking junkie. Jeez. I mean... all these stupid theories like, oh, why did she have the garage torn down 2 months later? And it's like, well, because she didn't want to fucking be bothered. I mean, Jesus. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, you just can't believe that. I'm not even going to discuss it. It's just like there was a point in time where I kind of believed it, and I thought, okay, this is just dumb. It's just a grift. That's all it is. I've already debunked all of it. I've made a video about 12 years ago debunking all of it. Oh, they say, well, he wouldn't have been able to do it because he was so high. He built a tolerance to it. He was a junkie. How hard is that to understand? Oh, he couldn't have picked it up. He couldn't have picked it up. That's bullshit. How do you know? The fuck? Clearly he did. I mean, the theories are so dumb. Oh, Courtney Love hated, they were getting a divorce. All of this stupid shit. Okay, so why was there a no? Oh, oh, man. Don't get me started on it, bro, because it's just so stupid. It's like, look, I know you guys don't accept, he wasn't an angel. But who is? I don't know. I'm not going to discuss it in here. Go watch that. I've seen the movie, too. What is it called? Soaked in Bleach. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. It's an hour and 30 minutes of nonsense. It's like, well, nothing matches up. Kurt Cobain gone missing. He was found by an electrician. Okay, dude. Well, it's ridiculous. I mean, they got all of these theories. He was too high. He couldn't even have picked it up. He couldn't even have, what?
It's over.
Let's go. 2K coming through.
Davidge 2-day super chatted $5.
Oh,
Michael,
shit. I know who this is.
Over 2 weeks
Oh,
since
bro.
age 45. I'll post that Texas Chainsaw Mascara review this weekend.
Oh, bro. I can't imagine. Bro. We got to get that guy on the show. That would be crazy. Holy shit. Well, this is the conversation. We went from Batman, and then it goes to something in the way. Something in my ass. You know, they just love to take the. So it's just, the Zoomers couldn't handle the intimacy of the song. So they just made fun of it. Like, okay, well, whatever. You're a fake Nirvana fan, so I don't know what to tell you. Name one good whole song. Oh, the one in Rock Band. The only popular one. Pre-order Spider-Man. I'm going to be playing it this Friday. We're going to be playing it. The new Batman sucked. It could have been at least an hour and a half shorter, boring as fuck. That's why. That's exactly why I'm not watching that crap, dude. I mean, the movie's way too long. It's just drawn out garbage. Just get to the point. I mean, it's just like they have to extend the watch time because they got to sell the Batman brand. Like, yeah, we don't really have a movie here. We got a bunch of different scenes compiled together. And quite frankly, when I watch The Dark Knight, the movie doesn't even make sense. Like, it just cuts around. It's just like random scenes thrown together. Like, you don't see the Joker going into the fucking building to talk to the gangsters. It just happens, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I do need to see the Joker getting out of the car. I think that'd be fantastic. Why didn't Christopher Nolan shoot that in IMAX? I mean, geez. You got fucking Heath Ledger coming right off of Brokeback Mountain to this. I mean, this is big. And I'm sure they got a ton of stuff in the vault, but the Heath Ledger's probably, they just don't want to release that, I guess. I don't know. But eventually they're going to have to milk it. I mean, when the movie hits like its fucking 20th, 25th, 50th anniversary or something in the next 70 years, I mean, they'll eventually have to milk it and say, hey, we've released the outtakes or something, or, never before seen footage of Heath Ledger as the Joker, because they're very protective over that stuff. You don't see any Heath Ledger, there's no outtakes, there's nothing. It's just like, what's in the movie is what we shot, and it's like, no. There's way more. Come on. There's way more. So it's like they wanted to project this perfectionist actor that never screwed up or something, like never had bad takes, and he's just this masterful actor. And I'm not saying Heath Ledger's bad, but it's just like whoever's in control of his brand, I guess, at this point probably doesn't want anything else to come out. I don't know. But it just seems, maybe that's how Christopher Nolan rolls. I don't know. But eventually they'll milk it. I mean, you can't just keep putting it out in 8K. I mean, I guess that's the next point, because they're already at 4K. I don't want, the last movie I saw in theaters was was Halloween Ends last year. This time last year. That was the last movie I went in this. So it's been a year since I've been to the theater. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to see.
It's over!
Spider-Man actually sucks. We can break it down again if you're just coming in.
Insomniac Games
Right
super
there.
chatted
Holy shit,
$4.99.
Insomniac's in here.
Michael, keep coping and slurping.
The
Our
fuck?
game is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Shillop and Young Ye already did the heavy lifting. 91, baby.
My God, bro. So we have the same combat, we have the same web swinging, we have no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland repetitive open world, downgraded graphics. What's there to love here? I don't understand. Okay, I don't get it, but you do you. 91 on Metacritic. So it is their highest rated game, and you'll hear all about it in the coming weeks. They'll be putting out a bunch of trailers that are on TV, critically acclaimed. Spider-Man 2, 91. The Sandman's in it this time around. It's like, well, that's cool, but okay. But what about like the non-exciting gameplay? Like it, I mean, it's just like this is DLC, and maybe it's not bad DLC per se, but let's not pretend like this is a built from the ground up game. And it's just this is PS5 exclusive. We were expecting a lot more out of this title, and it looks like it could have been done on PS4. So, you do you. Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Who's gonna go see that? It's PG-13. There's no. I mean, I could have made a better movie than that. It should have been like a claustrophobic movie because that's how the first game is. You're set in this, you're in this one location. Like it should have been that. You literally build one set and make the whole movie right there. You just CGI the exterior shots. It's not hard. They could have made that movie for like $25. Yeah, they changed the face of Mary Jane. They even changed the look of Peter Parker. I mean, even from Miles Morales. They changed the look of Peter Parker even from Miles Morales. It's ridiculous. Well, for Spider-Man 3, I have massive. They do need to start from the ground up on that. For Spider-Man 3, they really do need to start from the ground up. But there's going to be probably another spin-off game, some DLC, so it's just never going to end. It's like every other year you're getting some Spider-Man thing, and quite frankly, it's turning into Guitar Hero and Rock Band, where it's oversaturated. It doesn't feel as special. They're just putting out Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that, Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that. Okay, well, imagine had they just said, well, the next game coming out is Spider-Man 2, and we'll see you when we're ready. It would have been a lot more. The hype surrounding this release would have been a lot higher. The hype surrounding this release would have been a lot higher. I'm not being a contrarian. How am I being so I'm supposed to conform and just say it's amazing like everyone else because that's what you want to hear. I mean, I can do that. But that wouldn't be authentic. So, I mean, if they want to send her a free hoodie or something, I mean, shit, I can chill it. Because it's cold out here. You know what I mean? I mean, if we're a Spider-Man 2 hoodie, we'd be looking cool, okay? Well, I have the idea for the Halloween TV series. I have the idea. No one's thought of this. I have the idea for the Michael Myers TV series. I have the idea. I know how to make it. No one else knows what they're talking about. Okay, I've heard some dumb theories about like, oh, you can do this with Michael Myers. You could do that. Do the anthology. No, you don't do the anthology. You don't do the no one's watching that. Okay, they need to make money. They need the ratings to stay consistent. How do you do it? Well, I'll tell you how you do it. Okay. This is what they're going to do more than likely. Okay? They said they're going to be doing a TV series for Halloween. How do you do that? How do you get people to give a shit about it? Well, first of all, what you're going to have to do, okay, and we might need to bring up the Paint app so we can really illustrate this, but what you basically want to do for the Halloween TV series is you want to tell new stories. Hold on. You want to tell new stories within the same universe, okay? That's what you do. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Well, it depends on their budget because they're going to have a decent budget for this because basically what this means is that you tell new stories within the old films. Okay. That's what you do. You tell new stories within the old films. So new characters that are in the Halloween 1978 universe. So we go to different characters on Halloween night, and we follow their story and how they're affected by the rampage of Michael Myers. And maybe you see some of that in the background. So what I'm saying is that, well, this would be a bigger budget television show because you would have to do period pieces. But that's the only way I can see this working. No one is tuning in. No one is going to be tuning in with new Michael Myers stories and new masks and new this and that. No. They want the familiarity. They want that. You cannot sell it. Okay? So what you have to do is you have to tell new stories within the old movies. That is how you have to do the television show. There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to do it unless you're going pure anthology, which at that point it's not even Michael Myers. People want Michael Myers, period, end of story. Okay, so how do you do that? You cannot re-innovate Michael Myers. You can't. Everyone's trying to do that. Don't do it. People want the same old shit. Give it to them. Okay? Okay, so how do you do the television show? You tell new stories, focus on new characters, but within the old Halloween 1978 setting. You don't need Donald Pleasance back because you don't need to necessarily show that stuff. Just have it in the background. You know, we follow a new character, and as she's walking down the street, Halloween night in Haddonfield, you know, maybe in the background we see Sheriff Brackett and Dr. Loomis run up to the fucking Myers house. That's what I'm talking about. So stories within, and they're all tethered, and then they move to Halloween 2, and we follow a paramedic that was at the, you know what I mean? And it's like, you could really do this in a way that makes sense. You're going to have to do it that way. There's just no other way to do it. That's the way to do it. So you follow new characters within the old universes. That's the only way I can think of doing it. And maybe they've done that before with other things. I don't watch TV. But I was thinking about it the other night, and I said, well, that's how they could do it. So basically, like Halloween Kills, where they retcon the ending, which was trash, but you're not as blatant about it. Okay, we're not recasting Dr. Loomis. I mean, we are, but we're not necessarily showing that. Way more subtle. But you basically, you know, you want, yeah. That's how they're going to have to do it. That's how they're going to have to do it. And I think they will. I think that, I mean, if it's totally new, the ratings are going to plummet. No one's watching that slop. No one's watching that slop. I don't think people are listening. That's a problem in here. Dude, I mean, if you go to all of the comments in my recent videos, none of them were talking about anything that I was talking about. Why is that such a problem? Oh, because I sound like Trump. Who cares? Who cares of my delivery? I'm delivering you the reality of the situation in less than a minute. I'm respecting your time. I'm not dragging it out for 10 minutes long. That's what these streams are for. If you want long-form content, tune into the streams. I don't make long videos, though. There's no point. Michael Myers is in Fortnite. Do you understand, like, the popularity level has risen to an all-new level? You literally have the normies, they're like, oh, Michael Myers. He's literally a household name. You cannot change that mask. You cannot change that mask. You cannot change the figure of the mask. You can alter its appearance a tad bit, but that's about it. You really can't do that much new. We follow new characters. Several new characters, Haddonfield, 1978, Halloween night. That's just the first movie. Then we go to Halloween 2, 1981, Halloween night, Laurie Strode at the hospital. And they sort of recreate it, but not in a way where it's, you know, super elaborate. And it's blatant. You know, we see it in the background or some shit like that. Or we feel the effects of the shape roaming throughout Haddonfield on Halloween night. I mean, it's not hard to do. It's really not hard to do. Now, is it going to be that interesting? I mean, it really depends. But that's the only way I could see that happening. Unless they have different ideas. Maybe it's a little bit more blatant and they just want to go full-blown anthology, but I don't know how that could be interesting. If you don't have Michael Myers, it ain't selling. Sorry. Like, if they're really trying to do the Halloween 3 thing right now, I mean, I think it's a stupid thing. You have to have Michael Myers in there, period, end of story. That's what sells. It's not Laurie Strode, it's Michael Myers. They want to see Michael Myers. It's as simple as that. So you got to pull the curtain back on Michael Myers. You have to pull the curtain. No one wanted to see Michael Myers weak. No one wanted to see Michael Myers get chopped up in the meat grinder. Sure, it provided closure, but quite frankly, that's not what people wanted to see. Okay, well. I'm not hating. How am I hating? I've literally explained it. What do you want me to do? I've literally explained it time and time again. Same combat, same web swinging, no dynamic day and night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland, repetitive open world, downgraded graphics. What do you want me to say? I mean, look, if you're a fan of the previous title, Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man Remastered, Spider-Man Miles Morales, yeah, this is a day one buy. But, if you're expecting some groundbreaking game here, it certainly isn't that. Which, in my opinion, is disappointing. And I don't know if the 91 is all that. I think it might be a little too high. I think an 85 would have been a little bit more fair. Because it isn't bringing anything new to the table. Well, it doesn't have to, Michael. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's like, yeah, that mentality does work. If you have an engine that works and if you have, assets that are already in there, it's like, well, you just basically write a new story and you throw in some new characters and kind of call it a day. And it's like, well, now we can play as two Spider-Mans, and that's great, but is the transition scene seamless? Is it like GTA 5 where you can just swap in real time? I don't think you can. I think you have to go to the menu. I think it fades to black, and it's like, this is outdated technology. This is outdated technology. How is that a bad idea? That's what they're going to do. Play Phantom Liberty. I've already played Phantom Liberty. The next game we're playing on stream is Spider-Man 2 this Friday. So the next game we're playing on stream is Spider-Man 2 this Friday. Thursday night, whenever it is. So Thursday night when it unlocks, we will be playing it unless... Okay, but you guys are not understanding what I'm saying. I mean, I can just think it through in my head right now. We follow new characters, Haddonfield Knight, and we're talking about this and losing a ton of viewers. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I've been out here for 3 hours almost. It feels like it anyway. And you guys are not following the Spider-Man conversation, so I'm diving into other topics because you guys cannot handle it. So what you basically do is you follow new characters within the same. So it's Halloween 1978. The movie exists within the TV show for the first season, first episode, whatever the fuck. Okay? And you follow the new characters within that same universe as Halloween 1978, that same night. Everything from the movie happens within the television show, but it's not necessarily blatant about it. And we follow the emotions of these new characters, their story. And, eventually they do run into Michael Myers. And eventually, it could be, just think of it like a deleted scene. Like what we didn't see in Halloween 1978, what we didn't see in Halloween 1981. It's not Halloween 2 1981. It's not hard to make it. There's no other way to do it. Because you have to sell it. Hey, we got Dr. Loomis back, but we're respecting Dr. Loomis. We are recasting technically Donald Pleasance, but we're not necessarily showing his face. And if we are, we're cutting quick. So, and that's what they did in Halloween Kills, which I thought was a pretty decent job. Actually, a pretty good job. But with that said, that's the only way that you can do that. And that, that's the only way that you can do that. I mean, they already did that in Halloween Kills. They had deleted scenes where it's like, to me, it didn't really work. Some of that stuff, but that's the only way that you can do a television show. And you have a ton of play there. Now, again, the rights, I don't know if they have the rights, for every movie. I'm sure that's a fucking nightmare. But, for the ones that they do, I'm sure they can work with it. So they pick a timeline, they stick to it, and the television show exists within the old school universes. And yeah, it might be a little bit more expensive to get the old cars on the set and stuff like that, but wardrobe and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. How else are you going to make a Michael Myers television show? Oh, he's just roaming around Haddonfield again? Wow, let's tell new stories within the old movies. That's basically what I'm saying. That's the best way to put it. New stories within the old movies. Does that make sense? What if there was a third camera in Halloween 1978, the movie? What else didn't we see that happened that night? That's basically what they're going to have to do. And it's funny, I start talking about these movies and no one actually chimes in. Well, you got to watch Black Christmas. A lot of Halloween was copied from Black Christmas, 1974, Bob Clark. So it came out 4 years prior, and John Carpenter took a lot of ideas from that, obviously. I would argue Black Christmas is actually a lot more intense than Halloween 1978. Okay, but they made television shows for The Exorcist. They made television shows for Psycho, a bunch of other stuff. How did they do those? Was it all new, or was it like the idea that I had? Maybe my idea isn't original, but I just thought of it off the top of my head. I thought, okay, well, how are you going to get people to watch this? You have to come back to the familiarity of the old movies. Everyone loves the classics, and they love the old school Michael Myers. So you don't change Michael Myers. Michael Myers is back, and he's better than ever. No, no. You have to show Michael Myers. No. You have to show Michael Myers, but you can't. It's a hard game to play. You can't show Michael Myers 24/7 on the screen. That's going to take away. I mean, if you were to tally up Michael Myers in the first movie is only in it for like 12 minutes. If you total up all the scenes, okay, you can do this. It's not hard. But what you're going to have to do is recreate the old mask, which they've already done. Now, granted, it's going to be a different team this time around. But, I mean, this could easily be accomplished if they do it right. This is the only way I can see it working and being successful. Because if you're just going to do an anthology thing where it's like Michael Myers is sort of in it or something, like we got new masks and stuff, and it's like, no one wants to see, like, that's what, remember when they tried to do that with Scream? They said, hey, we have this new Scream television show on MTV, and we have a whole new look for Scream. That didn't work. People wanted the same Scream. They wanted the old school mask back. They didn't want the new mask. Remember that garbage-ass television show on MTV? The Scream TV show from like 2011 or some shit, and they introduced a brand new mask. No one wanted that. So you cannot change it. You cannot change the mask of Michael Myers. You just can't. I mean, he's like Frankenstein. You can't really change it too much. What would be the resolution for the new characters? Well, we follow their journey throughout the old movies. These characters existed with, it's like Arthur Morgan. It's literally like Arthur Morgan. Like that character, Arthur Morgan exists within Red Dead Redemption 1. That's what they would love you to believe. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but, nonetheless, it's basically like an all-new character that didn't exist but now does exist, and that's canon. I don't know how to explain it. That's the only way I could see it working. Okay, but yes. Oh, my God. I can't keep explaining it, dude. If you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is just my idea. I don't know how else you would do it, though, in order for it to be successful. I mean, if they say we got Dr. Loomis back and shit, and it's like a remake, but a new story told within the old movies and that universe. The same night, you follow new characters around, and yes, you have you have brand new Michael Myers, but it's the 1978 Michael Myers that everyone knows and loves. The only tricky part to that is that you're going to have the mask super accurate. You're going to have a new, someone new play Michael Myers. It can't be that hard, though. I mean, all you have to do is watch the movie and it's not rocket science. It really isn't. It's not hard. You just tell new stories within the old movies. That's all you do. That's the only way I can see a Halloween TV show working, because if they're just going to do all new crap set in modern times, I'm not doing that. I'm not watching that. I mean, I'll watch the first episode. If it's trash, I'm out. It's as simple as that, unless it's really fucking well done. But there's a lot that happens in the old movies that you don't necessarily see. They leave it up to the imagination. So it's like, well, you can play around with that stuff. How did Michael Myers get into the hospital in 1981? Well, I guess the door was open. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. Maybe we show that now in the television show. Maybe that has, maybe the new characters see him going into the fucking hospital. It's just like a deleted scene. Think of it like that. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, you would still have to tell, but it's a television show, so you'd extend the watch time through seasons. So you follow these new groups of characters that start Halloween '78 and maybe end at Halloween 3 or something. I don't fucking know. All right, folks, do we want to keep going or not? We're at 19%. We've kind of exhausted a lot of conversation out here. The chat's dying. Don't know what to tell you. But if you are new, consider subscribing, although the new people have seemingly left because we weren't continuously saying the same thing over and over again. That's why I like making the videos, because it's like we can get the point across in a minute, and it just, you know, well, you guys still didn't listen, but whatever. Go buy the game this Friday. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'll be playing it Thursday night. We'll be checking it out. And, you know, maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. But from what I'm seeing right now, I just don't see where the 5 years went. But I guess they didn't really work on it right after Spider-Man PS4. Because if they did, I mean, geez. What were they doing? They had 5 years. Exactly. What were the next? That's kind of what I'm saying right there. What were the next door neighbors doing when Michael Myers attacked? Exactly. You know, there's a scene in Halloween 1978 where Laurie Strode goes up to the other house and they turn their windows on. Boom. There's a story right there. You know what I mean? And then it comes together. I mean, it really could work. And you don't have to get Laurie's. You know, you don't have to get the old actors back. She told me she didn't. There's nothing to. Guys, the floodgates have opened. I've looked at the analytics, and my views have tanked down to 200 viewers now. So, because the floodgates have opened. So, what do you want me to say? I mean, I could still do a review like we did 5 years ago. Maybe. We'll see. The energy's just not the same this time around, though. I don't know what to tell you. All the comments were like fucking. I had celebrities back in the day reaching out to me and saying, laugh my ass off. So that was 5 years ago, though. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't really want to cover this game. I mean, I did, but it's like at the same time, it's like I know we can't recapture that magic. So it's like maybe let's just move on to Alan Wake 2. I want to do something cool with Alan Wake 2 because I got a bone to pick with that game. So I'm done with modern day Remedy slop, and it's anti-consumer, and the game just looks like trash. So. 3 reasons not to buy it right there, but they're going to be shilling that very soon. As soon as early next week, they're going to be shilling Alan Wake 2, and yikes. It's the same gimmick as this game. Play as 2 different characters. But the gameplay looks terrible. I mean, you're roaming around doing nothing in that game, bro. Literally a walking simulator. Ray tracing, RTX demo, walking simulator. And we're already shilling it because, oh, we got early access. We flew out to L.A. and played Alan Wake 2 early. Cool. Yeah, I'd be kissing ass, too, if they fucking, you know, gave me a call and said, hey, we want you to fly out to L.A. and play our game early. Yeah, I'd be kissing ass, too. Anyone in their right mind would. Please keep streaming. Well, the support's been terrible. I mean, you guys don't have the same energy anymore. It's so sad. I'd rather make videos. A lot more fun for me. This just seems like a big waste of time. I could have went out and filmed the video. And it would have hit like 10K views at the bare minimum, which is a lot more successful than these streams. And we can get the point across in less than a minute. Yeah, but some of you guys write comments in here that literally do not click. I just have a reading comprehension problem. So I just don't get it. I read it and I think, what was just said? I don't understand what that means. And then people get mad that I'm not on the same intellect as them. And it's like, well, that's a pretty harsh way to treat people, but hey, you do you. Instead of explaining it, they get mad like, oh, you don't get it, you're a fucking idiot. Yes, more videos. These streams kind of suck. I have nothing left to say. We're not making more videos on Spider-Man. That's why I came back to streaming, because there's nothing left to say. Plus, the floodgates have opened. I mean, I can do a review video, but that will take a little bit more time, and that will be a lot longer than 40 seconds, a minute or so. But I have to play the game, and by then, no one's going to really care. Poor Michael. See, we got these losers in here. I don't want to be around losers. Okay. I mean, it's as simple as that. When I'm filming videos, it's just me and the camera. I don't have to communicate with people. It's fantastic. I communicate with the camera. It's an inanimate object. It doesn't have feelings. What the fuck is that smoke smell? All right, I don't know if this is going to play out. I mean, I could, look, we're running low on battery, and you guys, if you want me to keep going, I can. But with that said, we might wrap it up here, because we are hitting the 2-hour mark, and the battery is getting pretty low. So it's at 14%. I can plug it in.
It's over!
I can plug it in, but not sure if it's needed.
Dridizzle super chatted $20.
G-Dizzle
What's
coming
up,
through.
Michael? Just wanted to say that I need games to really step outside the box to really impress me. AAA games take no risks at all. Spider-Man is basically what MW3 is. Yep. Glorified DLC.
Well, that's
for
all it's turned into. That's
emo.
all. Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I mean, the Modern Warfare 3 looks. It is just DLC. You know, and the Ass Creed was DLC too at one point. It's all DLC. Ass Creed Merge was essentially Valhalla DLC at one point. You can tell. Modern Warfare 3 is just Modern Warfare 2 DLC, and this is pretty much DLC as well, from what I can tell. So yeah, we're just getting repackaged DLC now. It's not even like we're just getting repackaged DLC, and everyone wants that for some reason. They're like, oh, I want more. And it's like, yeah, we understand you want more, but couldn't help for them to like innovate a little bit. Like, oh, you got better traversal here, and you can fly around with fucking wings. Cool. It's not Superman. I'd rather play the Superman game on the 360, because that was crazy. Drizzle coming through really hard and really strong with the $20 super chat. That's what we're talking about. So what do we want to do, folks? I can plug this in, but we got to unplug the headset. Yeah, Ass Creed Merge was DLC, Valhalla DLC, Modern Warfare 3, that was supposedly DLC for Modern Warfare 2 at one point. Then they said they stepped up their game. It's over. I don't know why these Ass Creed fanboys are coming in here. That's an old video. I made that video about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said Ass Creed Merge is trash, and now they're like, oh, fuck you, I love Ass Creed. Yeah, the game's garbage. I turned that off after a couple of hours. I had enough of that slop. Shit was trash. The only two good Ass Creed games are Unity and the first game. That's it. The rest are trash. The rest are all the same. Those are the only two like innovative games where it's like, okay, they're really kind of like Ass Creed Unity felt like a true next generation Ass Creed game. Now, granted, when it came out, it had a lot of technical issues, but then again, every fucking game does. So, nothing new. I'm not playing Ask. The next gaming stream we're doing is for Spider-Man 2. Thursday night. Thursday night, we'll probably do Spider-Man 2. Modern Warfare 3 is DLC. So we're going to do a poll here shortly. We can go for a little bit longer, but I need to know if that's what you guys want. Because I'm out here and I've exhausted everything. We're talking about a whole different slew of topics because, you know, you guys are not on the same wavelength here. So it's getting cold out here too. No, I'm done with Ask Creed. I don't give a shit about Ask Creed. That game came out 3 weeks ago. I don't care. It's dead. Move on to the latest.
It's
and greatest.
over!
Death-sided 666 coming through. That's what we're talking about.
Death cited 666 super chatted $5. 2023 is the year of DLC passed off as full price games, so
It's over.
saddest it's ever been and
It's
always
over.
will be. People wrestling, Chinese for acquisition, people
Yeah, and,
wrestling,
you look at Alan Woke
Chinese
2,
for
and it's like,
acquisition,
what does
people
that bring you to
wrestling,
the table?
Chinese
Literally
for
nothing.
acquisition, people
Literally
wrestling,
nothing new.
Chinese for acquisition,
Survival
people
horror
wrestling,
game, by the way.
Chinese for
More like
acquisition,
walking
people
simulator.
wrestling, Chinese for acquisition.
When they
people
first
wrestling,
teased that, I thought, wow,
Chinese
they're
for
going to make a
acquisition,
cool
people
game, or,
wrestling.
the potential was there anyway to make a cool game, but it just turns out to be another fucking walking simulator that looks more linear than the first fucking game. Like, now you have 2 fucking playable characters because that's the new gimmick. Wow, they're trying to get ahead of the GTA 6 curve. They saw the leaks for GTA 6 and they were in shambles at the office. They're like, oh fuck, that's the new trend in gaming. Dual, two playable characters, not 3 anymore. Two playable characters is the sweet spot. That's what's going to really get the gamers to consume. So not now in Spider-Man 2, you play as 2 Spider-Mans, Peter Parker and Miles, because 1 wasn't enough. All right, folks, we're going to do a poll. We're going to do a poll. Keep going, yes or no? We are at 9%, so we got to plug it in quick here if we want to keep going. So keep going, yes or no? But the chat's dying. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I tried to take calls earlier, but it was nonsense callers. I mean, just total nonsense callers. Bros takes are hot shit. Okay, buddy. Because they don't align with your take. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Why are there so many consumers that watch my show? Wouldn't you think because I know there's an audience out there that has the same feelings, yet they can't discover the show ever. Where are they at? You see thousands of people saying, yeah, gaming doesn't hit the same. Gaming, was the best it's ever been. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of doomer territory, but it's like, fuck, maybe it's true. And I'm not saying every old game is automatically great. There's a lot of old games that I think have aged like fucking milk, especially in the animation department. I mean, you've got a lot of old games that have aged like total slop, especially in the sound effects too. I mean, the same footsteps, I can't play games like that. Silent Hill 2, when you play Silent Hill 2 and you hear the same footsteps over and over and over again, every split second, like, I'm out. It's just becoming monotonous. It's like a monotonous ring. Thunder Goblin coming through. Are you going to play Ask Creed, the set in Japan? I don't know. All right, it looks like we're going to extend it here. 83% said yes, 17% said no. So we got 17% haters in here. Because why wouldn't you want it extended? I don't know how much more we have left to say. That's why I've already made the 3 videos, and we had everything that we needed to say within that. When the game comes out, I can dissect it further, but I mean, we could probably go through the footage that's already out, but well, I'm gonna have to switch over here. So the audio quality might get a little worse, but with that said, we're gonna have to switch over, and we're gonna do that now. So we are gonna extend the show here. Gonna switch over. Can you hear? We have switched over. Alrighty. She told me she didn't love it. It's the saddest it's ever been. She told me she didn't love it. It's the saddest it's ever been. She told me she didn't love saddest it's ever been. Alright, it seems like it is working. It is cold out here. I have no idea why we're still talking about a game that's as dead as that. Holy shit. What is the point of Spider-Man 2? Well, I guess they have a new story to tell. I don't know. I'm not doing a second round of calls with the audio like this. I tried doing calls and it was all nonsense, so. We already did call-ins. I had to unplug the headset to continue the show. There's nothing else I can do for you. We're not taking calls, get over it, okay? I've already taken calls. Leonardo DiCaprio coming through, that's what we love to see. Member for 15 months, hell yeah, by the way, appreciate it. Leonardo DiCaprio in the building. Leonardo DiCaprio in the building. Smells like shit out here. And it is getting cold with the sun out. She don't love it, it's so sad. Not one conversation. Well, they weren't willing to go two ways. It's a two-way street. When you're going to talk over me, I'm getting you off the air. Okay? If you can't communicate in a civilized manner, then yeah, we're going to go to the next caller. And all of the callers were yelling and screaming and saying off-topic shit. So I'm not doing it. Not doing it. NJX member for 17 months. That's what we're talking about. She don't love and it's so sad. It's the saddest it's ever been. Holy shit. She don't love and it's so sad, and it's the saddest it's ever been. Let's go. I'm not doing it. I unplugged the headset. I can barely hear the speakers. Oh, these Beatles are back. Fuck. We're not doing call-ins, okay? Keep asking about it. I'm going to keep ignoring it, so I'm not sure what to tell you. I clearly don't think we needed to extend it, so should probably wrap it up here. There's nothing left to say. Streaming is awkward. I don't know what to tell you. I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. It's a lot easier to make videos. It's a lot easier to get the point across. If people don't know how to consume it, that's on them, okay? But just sitting out here and just having these fake conversations because you guys cannot communicate in this chat, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, obviously not everyone, but man, you know, chat's dead. What am I supposed to do? Just stare at the fucking screen? I've already exhausted what I needed to say. And it's getting colder out here as the sun she She don't love and it's so sad. It's the saddest it's ever been. I told you not to extend it. Well, I have no interest in streaming. It's very boring. It's just not really something that's fun anymore. I'd rather make videos. It's a lot more fun for me to go out and make a video, even if it's only 30 seconds long, you know? There's just something to it. But I have nothing left to say about Spider-Man, so we will be moving on to, unless we do one more review on Spider-Man, we will be moving on to Alan Wake, because that's coming out very soon. And I'm sure the reviews are going to be up probably by next Tuesday, so we have to get on that pretty quick. She don't love it, it's so sad, and it's the saddest it's ever been. But we might do a Spider-Man 2 video review. We will see. We will see. But we'll definitely do one gameplay stream of Spider-Man 2. Probably be Thursday night, not entirely sure. Because I'm assuming that's when it unlocks, but... yeah, but they don't care. Yeah, they don't care. I don't know. I've had this conversation with people for literally 11 years. You know, ever since I made the LA Noire video, everyone's like, you're a fucking loser, you know? Like, if you expected GTA, that's not what this is. And it's like, well, yeah, I kind of understood that, but I mean, the game still fucking sucks. You know, so we've been battling the popular opinion for 11 years. Can't go against the hive mind. How dare you say you don't like this game, Michael? It's amazing. I had so much fun. I had so much fun, Michael. Well, that's great. I envy that. I'm a boomer. I'm jaded. Maybe when you get this age, you'll look back at these games and you'll say, wow, I had so much fun. And then you'll look at the new games and you'll say the new games aren't hitting the same. It's a generational thing, but it's also... the games just don't... they're just not really games anymore. They're essentially bloated... advertisements for the brand. They don't make video games anymore. They make walking simulators. That's not a video game. You're literally going in one direction. Like, yeah, maybe in 1992 that would have been cool, like for fucking Sonic and shit. You go right, you know? That's all you do in Sonic is you go to the right-hand corner of the screen to progress. Okay, well, in 2023, if you're not delivering a bigger and better game than that, then I don't know what to tell you. So they're just making these games as simplistic as possible, fake choices, fake RPGs. They don't make RPGs anymore either. That's a lost art. They don't make RPGs anymore. I mean, maybe Baldur's Gate 3, but you know the combat for me on that just did not land. So I can respect its what it brought to the table. However, with that said, you know, in the AAA space. Console gaming, they don't make RPGs anymore, and we thought you know a certain studio was going to come back and lay it out and say, hey, we're bringing this role-playing game back, but they didn't do that. So people need to look at the RPG moniker and say, well, what does that really mean? What is a role-playing game? Let's define that. They need to come together as a team before they start making anything pre-production and ask everyone, you know, on the team, what does a role-playing game truly mean? I mean, what does it mean to them? And, you know, try and come to a general sort of consensus. Because if the team is not on the same playing field on what a role-playing game is, then we don't have a role-playing game. A role-playing game, you should be able to play it how you want, and the game should embrace that. And a role-playing game these days is customize your character, and we have 5,000 lines of dialogue. That's not a role-playing game. Cyberpunk is not a role-playing game. Spider-Man 2 is not a role-playing game. They might have RPG elements, but it's not an RPG. Skill tree, that's all you need these days. You need 3 things to make a RPG game, okay? Character customization, skill tree, and loads of dialogue. That's it. That's your RPG, bros. That's not an RPG. That's not an RPG. An RPG is a role-playing game. You know, the game should embrace as best as it can the way you tackle missions and the way you make your decisions. You know, when you see a character in front of you, you should be able to make a choice. And one that, you know, could potentially impact the rest of the story. When the game puts up invisible walls, it's not a role-playing game, because they're forcing you to see their story. That's not a role-playing game. You're not role-playing any of that. I mean, you're role-playing their story, but that's within the limitations of what they're trying to tell. So that's not a role-playing game. You're not getting real freedom. You're not getting real choice. It's all a bunch of baloney. They don't make role-playing games anymore. They don't do it because they don't know how. They clearly just do not know how. It's not that no one, I mean, it's just the truth. No one knows how to make a role-playing game anymore. I've already told you, the programming department is, you know, you probably got 3 programmers on one game these days and a bunch of fucking, like 20 artists. You know, that's the problem. And if you have these, you know, I mean, I don't know how game development works, but I can only imagine. There's no programming anymore. There's no animation department anymore. It's just like, hey, we have these NPCs that stand around and speak, you know, tons of dialogue. That's not an RPG. They just stand around and do nothing. Like, you're so lazy, you can't even animate that. How hard is it to animate something? It cannot be hard. You have AI, you have more tools at your disposal. I see independent filmmakers making fucking CGI films for nothing. Like, what are we doing? It cannot be hard to animate things. You can literally motion capture stuff without fucking studio time. I don't understand. That's like saying, hey, I'm in a band and I want to make a record. You don't need to go to the studio anymore for that. Now, you could if you don't know what you're doing and you need expertise. That's the only reason I could see you going to the studio. Because if you're going to pay the engineer about $300 an hour, you know, you could do it at home for free. But if you truly don't know what you're doing and you only know how to like perform and play the songs, because some people don't know how, you know, they're not necessarily on the technical side of things. They might be great at performing and things like that. That's the only way I could see them going to the engineer and paying $300 an hour, if not more, for studio time. But these days, the technology is more accessible than ever. And if you still can't make it happen, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just laziness or a lack of willpower to push through. What is bro yapping about? Oh my God. Well, you guys didn't listen. I made 3 Spider-Man videos. Go check them out. Go check them out. Vampire Masquerade. I thought that was a little overrated. Well, there's too much distractions, and that's why these games die, because we're in a new era of entertainment. I mean, these games have to keep pushing out content every 6 months to stay relevant. Every game needs a roadmap. Every game needs further content. You can't just put out one thing anymore and call it a day. That's just not how it's going to work. So every game needs a roadmap. I don't care if it's single player, totally offline, doesn't matter. It needs a roadmap. It needs DLC. It needs new skins. It needs this. You have to continue the marketing. I mean, it's just, that's where all the money goes to, the marketing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The technology is better, but maybe it's really not. I mean, look at physics in video games. They've gone so backwards. Even Rockstar's gone backwards since GTA 4 with the physics. So what happened? What happened? Did they streamline that stuff for the casual player, or is there something else that they ran into? You know, now granted, maybe GTA 6 will be a return to form, but hell, we don't know when that's coming out. I had hope for October. I had hope that, you know, maybe they'll pull the curtain back, and there's still a chance, don't get me wrong. You know, there's still a couple of weeks left in October, but man, it ain't looking good right now. I had hope that, you know, maybe we'll get a little tease for GTA 6 this year, but I don't think that's happening. Well, quite frankly, I don't really want to play RPGs anymore. I mean, they're all garbage. The ones that come out today, and even some of the older ones are a little tad overrated. But with that said, I mean, I don't really care anymore. I'd rather have a linear experience that's impactful and call it a day. You know, games like Limbo, games like Inside. Give me something that is impactful and memorable. I don't need a 40-hour game that's just garbage. It's so big, it's so vast. We have this, you know, crazy open world, yet there's nothing to do in it. And that's, again, the case in Spider-Man 2. There's busy activities, but none of it's really fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot you could do with Spider-Man, a lot you could do with, you know, that sort of character. Yeah, and they just don't do much with it. It's just the same old slop. I mean, can we ride the subway in this game? Is the fast travel, has that been improved? Why would you fast travel, Michael? You have a wing glider suit. I don't know. I mean, it was a mechanic in the first game. It showed Spider-Man on the subway, but you couldn't actually, like, get on the train. It was just a cutscene. I mean, that's probably all the same. I mean, it's just shit like that. It's like, well, I mean, can't you at least give us one new cutscene? I mean, jeez. Okay, but you have to understand, you know, GTA is bigger now than it's ever been before. And as such, they have to streamline some of the mechanics so that the goal for the developers these days and the publishers, more importantly, is to say, hey, we don't want that controller to go down. So if they get frustrated, it's too hard, it's too this, it's too what have you. Some people might be inclined to put the controller down. That's why they have all of the ladders in Resident Evil 4 Remake splattered with yellow paint to tell the player, like, hey, this is where to go. And people are mad about that because they said it kills the immersion. Well, I say you're nitpicking. You know, they would complain about me complaining about that shit, but, you know, it's okay for everyone else to pick it out like, oh, well, you need that help, Michael. You need that assistance. And it's like, yeah, I do need the paint splattered all throughout my levels because I do need to know where to go. I'm not going to sit around and play a game and try and figure out where to go. That's not my cup of tea anymore. I'm not looking for a challenge when I play a game. Why would I come home? You know, why would anyone want to do that? That doesn't make any sense. You come home from a long day at work and you come home and face another challenge. I don't understand. That doesn't seem like fun. That's the opposite of fun. Why would you come home and do that? That's why a lot of people watch games on YouTube, because it's like, well, playing the games is just too tedious, it's too monotonous, it feels like a chore, doesn't feel like you're having fun. The only game that's going to shock the industry is GTA 6. That's it. And I don't know when that's coming out. No one does. So we're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Yet again, 10 years, over a decade, and we're still waiting for the next iteration of the biggest game in the entertainment business. The biggest piece of entertainment in the entire business. And we're still waiting and waiting and waiting. I will play every ounce of GTA 6, unless it's total trash. And I will be playing that offline day one. Because that is a ritual for me. Every Rockstar game, we got to take that off the air and we got to absorb it like a real gamer, not broadcast every thought that we have about it. we light the candles for GTA 6. Okay, we get the beef jerky out, we light the candles, turn the lights off, crank the volume up. I mean, boom. That's what I did for GTA 5. You know, I had the beef jerky ready, had the headphones plugged in, boom, good to go. Didn't read opinions on the internet about it. Didn't give two shits. I'm here with Rockstar's best. Let's see what it's all about. Let's sink our teeth into it. So that's the experience I'm looking for GTA 6 whenever that damn game comes to light. But I am sick and I am tired of seeing GTA 5, bro. I mean, we've been with that game for fucking 10 years. There's nothing more that they could really do. I mean, the Halloween content looks kind of keno, but I'm not roaming around the map trying to do busy work to enable the Halloween content. You know, for a lot of that content, it's like, well, yeah, it's free, but you have to, like, get to a certain level, get to a certain point, in the story mode online just to play it. And it's like, I'm not grinding for 15 hours just to play this free thing. Fuck that. I'm not even jumping in. Plus, they don't even tell you how to do it. Like, there's not an easy shortcut like, hey, we have this new content, click here to fucking start. They don't have any of that shit. You got to like roam around the map and look for icons on the map. Like, I mean, it's a time sink. You got to have no life to play that shit. I mean, if there's not an easy direction on how to start it, then it's trash. Alrighty, folks, we're going to unplug this and we're going to wrap this up here shortly. So, it's getting cold out here, and plus I got to go to the bathroom. So. And there's nothing left to say. I mean, we've already covered Spider-Man in our videos. We might put out one more review video once we have overall thoughts. But right now, I don't see where that 90-something is coming from. But hey, you know, if you guys have more fun with it, that's fantastic. She told me she didn't love, and it's so sad. It's so sad. She told me she didn't love, and it's so sad. It's so sad. GTA 5 on PC is full of modders and hackers, impossible to play online. Well, that's why you get the console version. That's why you get the console version. Okay, but let's presume you have a job. Maybe you do. But let's say you work outside in the hot sun from 9 to 5. Do you really want to come home and play these games? Do you really have that energy? Because if you do, I envy that. I really do. But I don't know how old you are. You could be in your early 20s. I mean, if you're in your early 30s and you still have energy, I'm envious of that. I don't have energy anymore. I'm fat. I'm old. It just happened. I didn't think I could ever get fat. I'm out here with man tits. I don't like that. So, I don't know. Exactly. Alrighty, folks, we're going to be wrapping this up. Spider-Man 2, let's recap. We're going to be wrapping this up here. Spider-Man 2, let's recap right here. Same combat, same web swinging, no dynamic day-night cycle, no dynamic weather, bland, repetitive open world, and quite frankly, downgraded graphics. There you have it. And we will be checking it out. We will be broadcasting the gameplay, thoughts, impressions, and maybe one last video to recap to top off the Spider-Man 2 content, but we shall see. Nonetheless, we will be with the game when it does launch on the PlayStation 5 later this week, but for now it stands at a 91 on Metacritic. So with that said, it is what it is. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show, and with that said, it's over!